Hey guys. So this isn't like a tarot video, okay? This is just kind of me talking to you guys. But I wanted to talk about something I watched on Netflix a couple days ago, a couple nights ago. I rarely watch TV, okay, for one. I'm too busy, okay? Plus, if I sit down, I always go to sleep, so I just don't. But there, the other day, I did have some time just to kind of, just kind of rest and relax. So I did go in, turn some Netflix on. I thought, well, I don't even know what to watch. We'll just see what pops up. And the one of the first things on there, it was this docu-series called American Nightmare. Let me know if you guys have seen this because holy shit, it's like terrifying. And at first, the way that they make it, like, telling the story and everything. So, if you guys haven't seen it, it's about a couple who there's a home invasion. And this couple, like I said, this is a documentary. This is real life. This happened in 2015 in California. But this couple, they were asleep in the middle of the night. They were woken up to like flashlights and like laser beams on their chest, telling them to like roll over, like, tie your hands up. They put like blacked out swim goggles over their face that they couldn't see, and like earmuffs on, and like that played like this like calm, chill music. And like the boyfriend was told to do this, right? To roll over. So they, put the stuff on him, whatever. And like they took the girl, his girlfriend. Well, they told this boy before they actually left, was like, my bad, this is actually for your ex-girlfriend. This was for her. You guys aren't, we didn't know you guys aren't together anymore, or something like that. And, ended up with the new girlfriend. But anyway, so they take this girl and like they tell him to like stay inside this part of the house. Like they have a camera on him, like don't call 911. And like it turned into like this ransom thing where the kidnappers are now messaging him and saying, we want like this amount of money, send it here. And he's like, I can't do that. And so finally, after a few hours, also he was drugged. He talks about how he was given like NyQuil and like diazepam, which is like Valium or whatever. I'm just like burn and say Paulo. I don't know why. But anyway, it was so okay. So anyway, he calls the law. He was, given that shit like whenever the invasion first happened. Well, anyway, so a few hours goes by. He calls 911. He tells them the story, and he does sound very calm, but again, he was sedated, so But anyway, so the law comes and like takes pictures and blah blah blah, and takes him down to the precinct and starts questioning him. And the story is absolutely bizarre, but you can tell by the way this guy is speaking, his story never changes. It never changes. Details, it never changes. And so anyway, the cops definitely don't believe him, whatever. Well, and he's like, well, you guys need to be out there looking for my girlfriend. Why are you questioning me? Like the FBI came in, they had him do like a poly what is it called? A lie detector test, whatever the fuck. Who cares? Whatever. But he took a lie detector test. The FBI agent told him like you failed. And this kid, like I tell you what, guys, it made me. This boy, I mean, I say kid, but he was a young man. He was a man. He was like in his 30s. Him and his girlfriend were both like physical therapists. I think she was a doctor and he was a physical therapist. Anyway, but again, like he stood there and he was like, very much sure. Like I didn't do what you're accusing me of. She's out there. This happened. I need your help. I came to you for help, thinking that I could trust the police. But in that moment, like he never broke. You know what I mean? And at this point, they'd had him for like almost a whole day interrogating him, and they put him through some hardcore interrogation. And at the end of it, he was like crying, and finally he asked for a lawyer. And it's, you know, as soon as the lawyer, you know, came down and they grabbed him, they were like, you've interrogated this kid for, he's giving you all this information, all of these details. You guys could be out there trying to find her, and instead you're focused on him, thinking that he's lying and he did something with the girl and whatever. So anyway, it gets weirder. It starts to get weirder, and then all of a sudden there is this like recording after the first day of the girlfriend, right? And she was like, she said her name. She said that she had been kidnapped. Otherwise, she was fine. And saying that she, what was it? She had to give like a current event. A plane crash had happened, whatever. So they knew it was current. They knew it was now. They knew it was recent. And so that was bizarre, right? And lo and behold, like even after that came through, they're still interrogating the boyfriend, thinking that he, you know, did something. He's, you know, making this big, crazy. I mean, it was insane, guys. This was extremely elaborate on the kidnapper's behalf. This was extremely bizarre, and it gets fucking weirder. Okay, so after 2 days, here the girlfriend comes. She gets dropped off in her home place, like 400 miles away from where it happened at. She walks up to her parents, like there was media freaking had been all over this story anyway. The boyfriend was already getting, you know, like hammered in the media, being portrayed as if he did something shady and whatnot. And lo and behold, here she comes walking up to the door, you know, to her parents. And so the cops swarmed. She didn't want to talk to nobody. And at first it was, they made it seem like, you know, well, this was weird. And the media portrayed it as something almost like the movie Gone Girl, right? Gone Girl, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it was about a girl who was found out that her ex, you know, or her husband was cheating. And so what she did to get back at him was made it look like she was kidnapped and killed and whatever in the hell she did, and trying to pin it on him. But it didn't happen like that, you know. He stayed strong in his stance on this, you know. And thinking something was wrong, of course, wanting the cops to help find her, right? So yeah, they pegged it as like a Gone Girl thing in the media now. Like Nancy Grace talking about it on TV, and all the news outlets are talking about it on TV. And so now it was like making them both look like they were the perpetrators in this, when in actually, all actuality, they were victims. Well, then this woman gets on here and tells her story about what happened with these kidnappers. And you guys, fucking crazy. But she is so crazy lucky that it happened the way that it did. Like, yes, the man did rape her 2 times, twice. And she was supposed to be like sold off, kind of. Okay, I assumed like some sort of sex trafficking, something or another. Who freaking knows? She did get raped twice. Yes, she did go through something very traumatic and horrific, but she didn't let it break her. She talked about how this man that she was with, the one that kidnapped her, like there was 2 other people I think involved, and this man like was very kind with her and very kind of gentle and very kind of, you know, he mentioned specific details, and like she did what she had to do just to kind of like build that kind of trust, you know. He did tell her in the beginning that he was going to release her, hopefully, and that she would not be harmed. And then, you know, the sex, like, you know, they were like, well, we need to record us having sex so that I have something so that you don't go to the cops once you are released, and blah blah blah. That's how he kind of portrayed it. I'm sure for his own like sick, twisted reasons as to why he wanted to record it, to watch it later, whatever. But this man was a freaking Harvard graduate, a lawyer, okay, that did this. He was a peeping Tom, and so, okay, so once the girl was released, right, and now her and the boyfriend are, it's like them against the world. Everybody thinks that they have done something weird here, and like, you know, that they're lying, and they were portrayed as liars and manipulators and squandering valuable resources of the city, and all of this shit, right? And anyway, lo and behold, they end up, the kidnapper emails the big, like, news outlet media place and says, you guys need to apologize to this girl. She is not a liar. We did kidnap her. I sent like a picture of like the, what was it? It was like a freaking, oh yeah, and by the way, the weapons that this man had whenever he invaded these people, that made it look like they were real guns. They were freaking water guns, painted black, okay, with lasers taped to them. And that's what the laser was that boy seen. And like swim goggles blacked out with black tape, right? But anyway, it was crazy. It was crazy to watch. You guys have to see it, watch it if you know, of course, feel, you know, like to, whatever. You don't have to watch it, but it is crazy. And, you know, thank God that girl and that boy, you know, in my mind, I keep thinking, you know, saying girl and boy, this was a man and a woman, okay? But thank God that they both kind of very much stood in who they knew themselves to be, is kind of what I'm getting at, okay? And it's like, you know, we have to know who we are as individuals, because going through something like that, you better good and damn well know for a solid fact you are solid, right? You know who you are inside and out, and can't nobody, you know, convince you otherwise. Because, you know, those cops, man, they were hard on this boy, on this man. They were hard on him. He'd never been in trouble before in his life, you know. In his eyes, the cops were helpful, and it was awful. It was awful. They ended up, the boy, the man and woman, I'm so sorry, they ended up they ended up getting married, okay? They ended up suing, you know, the law enforcement agencies. The FBI was even in on it, and there was it was a whole freaking thing. But they were paid punitive damages, you know, and yeah, and had their day in court. You know, they got to stand up there and tell their story. So anyway, again, it's called American Nightmare if you guys want to check it out. It was wild. But that shit stuck with me for a couple days. Like, I could not imagine going through something like that. And it's so, just the story of it is insane. It's like, holy shit, this kind of shit really does happen. Or can happen, you know. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, anyway. Love you guys.